I'm Niven Glover. This is my persuasive speech. Imagine you get into a car accident late night and you go to the nearest home for assistance. You go to the nearest home for assistance and the people report you because they think you're a burglar, but you're asking for help. The next thing you know, you're being shot 10 times by a police officer. All you wanted to do was get some help, but you were killed because you were a black man and you got into a car accident and it was late. People of color receive the most hate and police brutality based off their skin pigment. Racism and being treated differently based off looks by police officers. Police officers should calm down and take things into consideration before taking action on young black innocent people. People of color seem to be more dangerous when approached. People of color are convicted of more crimes, so therefore people are afraid of black people because they are convicted for more crimes, so they see us as a threat. African Americans are incarcerated 5 more times than the rate of one white man. People of color seem to be dangerous. In 2014, African Americans constituted 2.3 or 34% of the total 6.8 million correction population, according to NCAACP in 2020. Society sees colored people as threatening and more dangerous. African Americans work hard to get the rights to be treated equally, but still aren't being treated equally. In action movies and crime movies, you see drug dealers and robbers. You see them as black and Hispanics. You normally see them as colored people. You don't never see white people that's really committing crimes. And even in cop movies, you see more black police officers that are doing the crimes, even as a cop. Police should take more time in their jobs. Way too many people are dying. Police officers are not trained properly to face cultural differences. The training of the police academy should be advanced and it should be more culture diverse. If police officers had better cultural awareness, training in areas such as experience, histories, and cultural norms of groups other than white males, police would have fewer prejudiced opinions. The training requires more athletic ability and focus on how to use their firearms, when more time should be spent on how to deal with people based off where they're from and how they've grew up. Rougher and poverty neighborhoods tend to have more police come for smaller situations such as a domestic violence case. So if I was living in a gated community and I called the cops for a domestic violence case, there would be minimum 1 to 2 cops, but it would never be over 2 cops or 2 cars. But if I was to call them and I'm in like a rougher neighborhood, I'm in the hood, and I call the cops, it would be a lot different. It would be way rougher based off where I'm from, and they would like want people, like somebody go to jail because of the community. They know like 9 times out of 10 they're already convicted felon or they already been convicted over crime, so they're just ready to take them back. Police respond differently to different calls based on areas. When police are called in rougher areas, 9 times out of 10 is going to be an arrest made, but for the same case in the Bay area, there would be a citation or a warning, or just like them talking to them and letting them know like, hey, don't do this again, you guys can't argue, you guys are together, so forth and so on. The negative influence police give out to colored people has to change. Colored people are afraid of the police. When police are called around, colored people tend to think that they are in trouble, even when they didn't do anything, because they feel police discriminate based off skin color. So a lot of times, black people run from the cops and are innocent because they're running because they are scared. They're afraid of cops because they feel like they've done something wrong just for being the skin color that they are. So it's already a fight for them, so they just feel like, I'm gonna run. So 9 times out of 10, they go to jail for things they didn't even do, or they make a crime for themselves just for running, being scared. When police officers are called, black people are scared. They tend to run. That's the thing they do. That's the first instinct because they are thinking they're in trouble. A black man was shot for absolutely nothing in broad daylight, unarmed, and he talks about why he fears the police after being shot. Who shot him? The police officer that shot him says, he asks the police officer that, why did you shoot me? And the cop responds, I don't know. He shot him, he was innocent, hands on the ground. He was laying down face first. He was trying to help dyslexic kid, a kid that like had a lot of problems. He was like deformed. He had like Down syndrome and more stuff. He was trying to help him, and the cop shot him, and he asked the cop, why did you shoot me? And the cop responded to him, I don't know, just because he was black and he was afraid. Colored people have a higher rate of running from the police than whites, and their reason for running most times is because they're scared of consequences from the police. Innocent people run from the police because they are scared. People fear plays a big role in a lot of the police shootings today. Colored people tend to get nervous and anxious around the police, and they make sudden moves police don't like, and then they suddenly tend to get shot or tased, or sometimes that's why they run from the cops, because they're afraid. Like, people being scared is the main reason based off like why they run from the cops. The crime race and the hate towards each other has to stop. The community and the people have to work together to make America great. Police and colored people need to come together and really get a better understanding for each other. Colored people have to stop being afraid of the police and do a better job protecting the people of the United States. Blacks are dying left and right, and there are way too many killings happening in the time period. The sooner society accepts that, the quicker we can all get better. Police training should really focus on more type of dealing with people and knowing how to handle certain situations. The police should try to do better and have less killings. The police should really focus on the type of person that they're dealing with and take more time and consideration into their job so that the world can be a better place. The police are supposed to be somebody that's like, the police are supposed to be helpers. They're not supposed to be hindering us. So they should make us feel comfortable in situations as much as possible. And that's why a lot of black people are getting killed. Like, there was this Instagram live recently, like a couple days ago, and a lot of famous people are reacting to it. A guy's running from the cops, and he was innocent, but he was just scared, and he starts running from the cops on feet, and the cop tells him to stop, and he shoots him dead on the spot. So a lot of the problems in today's community is black people are afraid of cops, and cops are afraid of black people. So that's my argument. Thank you.